Hello, species value nature system. We're missing the wire crimes. There are wire crime methods in our database crime methods roles. Originally and still, we had interbranch, intercampuses, victim predators, overt predators, though, insidiously. And this is with fake news. They're stealing people's speech to both sides of stories, and they're pretending they're doing it because of hate. They're using terms like isms, like this person's ism. We don't, they don't care about these type. They don't care about color. Then they say anti-Semitism. They're using that as a term. What does it do? It makes them a separate group. They're keeping the species nature of volume from being fact cheap in nature. They're keeping quality of fact cheap in nature just because we have jobs of experts. They're nuts. They can't follow the rules. They have to attach people to fake conversations, fake sequences, fake relationships to others. There are courts attaching little kids through time with judges to fake relationships to others as their drug clicks. This is really what the and intercultural and women involved with crimes with child offenders, women judges, women with the courts, with men with the courts, with the drug clicks that were raised using that to give them the better pot, the better marijuana. They let them use that to lie to people because they're exploiting other people measured in relationship who's going to be sitting in their class that they can attach to fake things later and where they're going to walk. So in other words, I have conversations with people I don't even know. They timed what? No, I was called to the office. I'm going to walk by this way into the cafeteria. Some people are going to make a confession about their roles about things with CCSU. I didn't even never had been there before, which is in New Britain, Connecticut. See, this is long through time. There and Charlie Bowes. I never had a conversation with him in my life. I walked by him only. I was only in his presence one time. I walked by him outside of Club Blue, which is now I don't know if it was still Club Blue. It now was a Russian lady, and it was that in the past too. And these there's a Russian lady associated with a doctor um, Leahy, Brendan Leahy, and his son with that name, and they have and his wife there. I believe is his grandmother, his mother, his father. The whole family works with the triage. Now these are drug clicks that attach me and other people forging names, doctors switching names, attach me to fake conversations with themselves. That was never through life. I never had one conversation with them. This is recorded. Now these are crimes with a Dillon family, with various people, with switching. There's also a there's also I never had a conversation with them. An Amy Sosha, a Jen Sosha, and I believe his name is Jeff So no Jim Sosha. I never had a conversation with him. He walked by me on the corner of on a tree CCSU on off CCSU. There's a CCSU Paul Manafort Drive. Now that's a name that was used in the news by through time by CCSU by CNN various ways and by Connecticut media various ways involved with crime acts and actors with the Trade Center attack context with a proven sequence shift from inside the Ninth Circuit, from inside the court affected, because these are various natures of fake differences. These are not, in other words, they want judicial independence, but they never had judicial independence. They never had the branches separated from their original state criminal foreign influences, delusions, uses of that, tactical pseudo education, only realize here or there. That's why they're coming up with terms like anti-Semitism, racism. This is criminal insidiousness nature. If you want to talk about and see, what those things are really about. In other words, unnatural human things, meaning and stuff like that, was naturalized because everyone's a criminal insidiousness nature role. That's what they were for the breaching organized crime method that forced our founders to partake with such and to leave it entrenched. Right before the last battle of the Revolutionary War, James Madison had to he had to switch. James, I mean George Washington had to meet with the French general. He could only semi-counter extort right before the last battle of the Revolutionary War, trying to figure out how to page. Ooh, I lost it. So James Madison, I mean George Washington could only semi-counter extort that which had his slavery too, fact cheating nature slavery. They're forcing games with fact cheating nature. So now they have overt slavery. So now there's semantic differences in games between us. Because now it's hard to explain your fact cheating nature when someone's at the same time. Well, how are you talking about? Well, look at us. Of course, when we're in a trap, we have to admit that these are not means. In other words, fake news is real too. They're preventing. This is also wire crimes with the fake news they're involved with the courts and with the police in collusion with each other. They've been hiding lie progressions per their roles with drugs crimes, per their roles with database crimes, and they've been hiding, especially with psychology in other nations here. Recorded delusions raw originally and still involve what you can't defend that and us at the same time. People go, oh, I'm not a doctor. They have everyone else having everyone else think for them. That's why this is tied to a proven sequence shift, post dated documents from inside the Ninth Circuit in the Trade Center attack context. It was proven after, but it's proven. Now that led up to a 2006 case with defendant, former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin, which also shows still that and how Mueller and Comey are being used for sequence shift cover-ups. They're being used for Trade Center crime acts cover-ups, and they're with physical delusions and misinformation. Criminally foreign influence. They're with database crime rules, drug crime rules, formal and other juxtaposed with interbranch families. There were a whole bunch of men and women from my town with New Britain Superior Court involved with crimes with other natures of courts too. Intercities through time, intercampuses through time. They're putting crime acts in databases and in their own databases. They're making they use the tactics like making confessions to me and to others, and then using the phenomenon of that of having had brief moments of communications with people where they made confessions and then they attach me and others to fake words where we have no. In other words, they're forcing people to have communications with them by arresting people with fake things, with sequence shifts, for pretending. Now they have the Wethersfield police chief and his daughter and her family. They have a former principal of the school and his daughter and her extended family member involved with crimes with CCSU and with medical clicks, with the databases, with child sex offenders proven, but further with that school, with a principal child abuser is already proven. And before that, they forced him not told on with worse child sex offender crime acts and threats online and by the police physically. And they use fake news for this. They've been coaching the kids to cover up their lie progressions. They made a girl stay home and then they reported on it in the news because that's how they're adapting, because a whole bunch of people are needing to hide each other's lies. And once they get caught, they're still they have to go further hiding, because if one person gets caught, they all get caught. Misprision. This is how they're motivated to roles as women judges with child offenders, with crimes with prisons, because they're crimes with courts, they're crimes with drugs and with guns, with police forms, other natures of gun crimes that we have to examine. There are too many names. That's why we need the names of the judges and the police forms from the forging and switching names. They're doing that because they need to keep the other sustained problems so they can pretend that they have integrity involved, capable of solving issues when they are furthering them and with other nations. So then we have all kinds of sanctions penalties because we have threats and stuff like that, because we have fake sides, but this was maintained because we have fake sides there here too. You know, people associated with a Scalora family, with CCSU, with other nations, recorded and confessed, having been facilitated to all kinds of identity theft, crime acts roles. There are abuses of the same girls they use. They use Saudi families and women for fake words for their investigations of the Trade Center attack context because they had crime acts roles with it. And this is on and off CCSU with their shared policing with other nations. With West Farms Mall, recorded and confessed, a whole bunch of people criminally involved from my town with that place, and with New Britain Superior Court, and with other natures of courts criminally involved, fire departments criminally involved, campuses criminally involved. They're forging and switching names, misspelling names. There were the overt crimes doing that with the misspelling of the names online with the Facebook page of New Britain Superior Court that was used to force the principal sex offender or the principal child offender when he was still in there. Which there are sex offenders tied to that because there were rape threats before that. I didn't even get to reporting that because it was from the police posted and messaged to me on Facebook. They're lying about that. There's an officer Poison involved with crimes with state police and with FBI with the area criminally involved. CIA criminally involved. Per them, they pretended I had a conversation about this too. I never had this. Is that I'm bringing it up from what they wrote with this Leahy family who attached me to fake conversations about the CIA and fake conversations with him at all, and with his son with the same name, other families members of theirs, drug crimes roles, all kinds of natures of crime roles with the Yagman families, with houses next to schools. The WFSB is pretending is with sick people with kids because they're faking news stories. Then they pretend they're because they don't like the people because they're prejudiced or something like that. They're faking it. They started this, and they're sequence shifting with that. I wouldn't have to use their name at all if they followed the rules. See, now they're not following the rules with the police and with the courts because they got their kids there used criminally already and through time. I just remind. Now, the educational department is tied to the daughter of a former principal of the school who was crime roles with the child offender principals, proven and further recorded. And through time, they don't let people report these things. They're not following mandated law. You see what I'm saying? They don't care about Me Too. They recorded, used, then they invest. That's an organized crime method that keeps our states and areas criminally foreign influence this way. Then they went to pretend they care about Me Too. They're all acting. Because they hurt girls already. These are predators. High predators are legal natures of identities. Now respond. They don't respond. They don't follow the rules. They say, oh, sue. They get one name and get one sequence and respond to the Attorney General because that's who's my lawyer now. That's what the FBI said. I have the right to now. And they said if he doesn't help me, then that's what I have to do. I went to the state police. They're criminally involved with child offenders. You fear God. And you forget talking about titles just because this guy's a title, this guy's job is like, deal with acts. Now deal with crime acts is the subject here. And sequence shifts. Sequence shifts. They're also using isms and things like that for sequence shift cover-ups where they keep them in prison because they're controlling the drugs. And the whole bunch of kids get hurt by drugs they wouldn't even have wanted to do because they're no good. The only people that were good drugs are the ones. That's what they're making them want it again. The little interbranch rap mob cliques with the good drugs next to the state prison offices with a Cuddy family and with a Gachaccio family recorded and confessed involved with the crimes with the child offenders in my area. A family, a Phil Colon. His extended family members involved crimes with these people. And in other words, I never had a conversation with Phil Clow in my life. I explained one time how he tried to make an appearance, illusion of other, and two other times, there not no words at all, real fast. In other words, they have people walk by you, then they pretend to know you when they're adults, not by accident. They're keeping them needing to hide life progression. This is what motivated their roles insidiously with trade center attack crimes from inside a court, from outside of court, online, fake news, crime acts not letting you report it. This is inseparable from their treatments of the issues when they say, "Oh, let's try this topic now. Let's call it border wall security." Yeah, they're out of their minds. They're out of their minds. They're making these are inseparable things. Father mandated law. Let's go. We had election crimes. Weathersfield's with elections. The Fienza family also recorded and confessed WFSB is involved with election crimes with them. Crimes with the Dillon family also recorded and confessed crimes with child offenders in the area, drugs, untimely deaths that brought up the child offenders to my awareness. Then when you try to report such recorded, they will arrest you. They arrested me for harassment for calling a school one time and trying to report only part of it. I didn't even think part of it because the guy was nuts. Then he kept calling back and made confessions. This is a principal child offender. They put him in jail now already. But they first forced him with the rest of the child sex offenders and other natures of them by not letting me speak and by arresting me for harassment with sequence shifts. By lying about they say, "Oh, he called a whole bunch of times." Put him in jail with a huge bond that he can't pay for 6 months. No trial. Now, in there, too, recorded and confessed, already had been involved since before, like Sandy Hook. There was a doctor from there who with recorded physical delusions as a doctor of psychology and with criminality, with the child sex offenders online. He threatened to rape me. He threatened to kiss me goodnight before he put some kind of drug in me. I forgot the name of it. Sick people. Now these are also people involved with extended family members of the houses in my area with the interbranch drug cliques and the foreign overt criminal enterprises. Also recorded crimes with them in the area. Illusions, no. Also with the witness protection program. So people get scared about stuff like that and they use that. That's why they're criminally foreign influence. WFSB, Fox CT, and now we're going to go into the national because they have their chance. I asked them online, how are you going to contact them? They're using wire crimes where you call up, they lie about the substance of your conversations. They don't fall. In other words, they lie about what's recorded because this is what happens when you have interbranch caught. They just lie together and stick things in databases, forge and switch names and sequences. So you bet your bottom dollar. This is tied to the organization, the orchestration of the caravans, of the orchestrated narrated fact treatments, opinion natures of everyone involved with it. All recorded victim predators of education that is maintaining everyone incapable of defending their fact treatments and us at the same time. You need to follow acts, see acts, respond to the crime acts, and stop. We have haters offensive, pretending they're against hate. That's a problem. That's a problem. Then they're using these comedians. Oh, it's about comedy. We need some time to forget. Of course, you need to forget. You're involved with colonization, slavery still. Put Wanda Sykes up there. She doesn't care about people. She doesn't care about people. She cares about her sexual orientation. Respond to the rape threats and the rest of the child offenders with the schools. Let's go! Come on now. Don't play games with me. Get your dirty mouths off of my name too. Interbranch. Get my name out of your heads or respond. Pick one name in sequence and respond. Let's go. Fix the fake news. Respond. Respond. Yes, yes. You fear God. Respond right now. You respond, you dirty. You hurry up now.